Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Peace, love, and positivity to you. My name is Sohum, and today I'll be giving a first-time reaction to one of the queens of Broadway named Jennifer Holliday. I've never heard Jennifer before, so this should be a very fresh reaction for you guys. And I think it's important to note here, but Jennifer started her career in the world of Broadway and then segued into a more like recording artist career, which I feel like is more of an atypical approach. More often than not, the music we listen to on the channel, it was intended for mainstream audiences. It was intended for anybody and everybody with a record player to find it and then listen to it. I feel like Broadway itself is a bit more niche. And, because that was her path, I'm just curious to hear what her, solo career music sounds like, whether she draws a lot of inspiration and style from the Broadway era or ventures into a completely new direction. Frankly, I have no idea, but super excited to find out for myself. But before we jump into the songs today, a massive thank you goes to Brian for making this reaction request and for bringing a new artist into the channel. Now, my friends, let's jump into it.
I'm going to sing one of her most popular songs and one of my very favorites, His Eye is on the Sparrow. Why should I feel discouraged? And why should the shadows fall?
Dude, the soul in her voice.
Why
She's going wide
should
and
my
powerful.
heart be lonely and alone for heaven and home?
Dude, her delivery is very unique. I would say it's like dripping with drama. And also pay attention to the way that she ends some of her vocal phrases. She'll kind of leave that that almost like syllabic artifact after she completes the word. Also, the way that she like kind of lackadaisically fell through that run, that like she had like such a wide voice in the lows. Let's listen to that again.
Be lonely and alone for heaven
You hear that, right?
and
Powerful.
home.
Wide down there, it gets murky.
When Jesus sees my portion, a constant friend is He. His eye is on the sparrow, and I know.
When she escapes into those lows, it is so impressive because she's already like really, her tonality is really far forward in the mix. Like in those moments, she's able to belt project to the furthest end of the room, but so quickly she pulls it back and goes like into her feet, singing down into her belly. I gotta say, like that dynamic control is very difficult. I also appreciate like these sort of longer sustained notes. Let's go back a bit.
Is He. His eye is on
Sustained
the
up there.
sparrow,
Just that rapid drop.
and I know
Crazy.
He watches me. I sing
Talk about emotional release. Through the runs. Oh my goodness.
Yes, it is. And I know He watches me. Oh, I sing.
Dude, she is a vocal powerhouse and fueled by excellence. And you definitely can pick up on her Broadway influence because, you know, on the occasion, I will think of like Broadway singers as being like not on the same page as operatic singers, but they have similar qualities at times where they make these larger moments even more dramatic and huge because, you know, that's where the effect is coming from. There's no post-production here. It is all reliant on Jennifer getting everybody to just tingle in their seats. That is exactly how I feel right now. Tingles.
Oh, I sing because I'm happy. Oh, and I sing
Jennifer Holliday on the channel. Oh my god. What was that?
Thank you. Thank you. I sing because I'm happy. Yes, I do. And I sing.
My brain still hasn't processed what just happened with just how she was able to like make her voice so guttural, powerful, soulful. And now we're like into the full world of gospel with all of the other choir members coming out. And I had the thought earlier, it didn't come out, but I had the thought of she doesn't even need a choir because of how powerful her voice is. She just like is the sole focus. It almost would feel like if you have additional singers, it may take away in terms of our focus because we just want to be fully fixated on Jennifer. But if we're changing the full style of this song with the intro of this choir, then I can see how it'll work. Maybe a bit more of a call and response here, but dude, Jennifer getting into those higher highs, like I was not expecting her to even sustain those belts for as long as she did, and then I was able to compliment her on that. And then she holds them out for longer and then brings up her pitch and then adds that vocal fry, adds that like ripping apart sensation. It is all so satisfying to me as I still am a metal listener, but I've been listening to less and less metal lately, just given where we are on the channel. I love vocals that can do this.
Yes, I do. And I sing because
being in that audience must be an out-of-body experience. day in her life. It's never happened. What is that? That is insane. Oh my god.
Just like singing, oh, I feel like just like singing, everybody. Just like, oh, I feel. Yes, it is, and I know He watches over me, and I know He watches over me, yes, and I know He watches over me,
I think, Brian, you knew what you were doing sharing Jennifer with me.
watches over me, watches over me. Watches over me.
That wasn't even singing, dude. That was just screaming to the heavens. That was such a cathartic, emotional release. She is not singing any of these notes. She is willing them into existence. She is commanding that they go where she pleases. With all of her power, she is still so precise with where she makes those notes. Um, I I don't think there's a good way to describe Jennifer Holliday. It must be experienced. Um, that's crazy. That is insane. Like, because I was already like mind blown in the first minute and a half of her performing. I already could tell like all of the amazing qualities that she had in her vocals. And when she started ripping her voice apart, I was sold. I was completely hooked at that point. And I love that she's able to like tap into that energy so quickly and easily. It's as if she will never run out of it. And there will be some vocals you'll hear occasionally where they're capable of hitting these extremely high notes and belting with a lot of power. But at the end of the performance set or just a single song, you may think, well, just judging based on the way that their voice sounded towards the end of that track, I can't imagine that they have any more left in the tank for an encore of a song like that. They may have to change the style, rest and recover a bit to then be brought back into that intensity. But with Jennifer in mind, it seems like she just has that ability in spades. She never is lacking for that full just belt, that full power of her chest. She carries that weight so well. And if you think of like when you're positioning your voice, a lot of what makes your voice even more powerful, outside of your breath support, is your mouth's position, is your posture, and those basically are just amplifiers to allowing your voice to get even louder and putting in about the same effort. It's basically just like a multiplier. She must have like every single multiplier turned on with her voice that she can just so easily fall between. I think when I was watching her sing, she had a really like large palette there, so that gives her enough room to create that massive resonance. But you can't create those sounds even if you were perfectly efficient with your placement if you didn't have as strong of diaphragmatic control as she does. Like I mentioned, it's like her voice can hit every single corner of the room. You could probably hear her sing from miles away, in fact. I don't really know what else I can say here. I just want to experience more of what she's got. Let's check out the Tony Awards performance. This is of the musical Dreamgirls.
And so our tribute to the musical legacy of the Imperial Theater has brought us up to the present evening. The incumbent musical is, of course, Dreamgirls. And one of the aisle sitters had this to say about it. Though it's about the music of the 60s, Dreamgirls, the new musical at the Imperial Theater, is really a musical for the 80s. A splashy tour de force with the most up-to-date razzle-dazzle the Broadway theater has to offer. And it's a nominee for Best Musical. On this scene, the girl's been fired from a risingly successful singing group. She's been fired by the group's manager, her former lover.
Is that
hey,
real?
everybody, sorry I missed rehearsals. I'm feeling much better now.
Don't try and make it.
I'll make it. Just get my dress. Where's my dress? Laurel, where's my dress?
Dude, this is bringing me back. This is bringing me back to when I was in musical theater, and not for an extended period of time or anything. It was like about a year and some change when I was like, I think in 4th or 5th grade. All the singing, the acting, the dancing. It was a lot of fun, but the dancing was the hardest part for me.
My dress?
Enter stage right.
Who's she?
Effie. Curtis was supposed to...
Love me. Curtis was supposed to love me.
Oh.
There you are, Effie. I've been looking all over.
Is that Curtis?
I turned my back and find myself out on the line. You could have warned me, but that would have been too kind.
I've been warning you since Chicago to clean up your act. You've been late, you've been mean, giving all kinds of stupid flack.
That's a lie, that's a lie. It's just I haven't been feeling
I
that
love that it's
well.
song
Let me
and
please
story.
stop excusing yourself. You've been late, you've been mean, and getting fatter all the time.
Now you're lying, I've never been so thin. You're lying, cause you're sleeping with that girl who thinks she's better than everybody. She ain't better than anybody. She ain't nothing but common. Now you listen to me, let's blame it on the world. See, I put up with you for much too long. I have put up with your bitching, I put up with your nagging, and all of your screaming too.
Oh my god, the trauma.
Let's stop. Oh, let's fight. Stay out of this, Laurel. It's between Dina and me. Well, it's between me too. I'm as much a...
I don't have all the context for this. I think I have none of the context for what's happening here, but it seems like everybody is somehow berating the person who's being mistreated. So, like, they're all like, you knew what you signed up for, girl, deal with it.
Harder to school than anybody else, and I'm tired. Effie, I'm tired of all
Oh my god,
the
that
problems
projection out of nowhere.
I always knew you two were together.
She scratched that falsetto note.
Up on me.
Hey, now watch your tone, don't blame it on Laurel.
All right, Jimmy.
Now she had nothing to do with this change. It was you. You always thinking of you. All you can do is rant and rave. You think a star is a king. Wake up, baby, a star is a slave. Wake up,
baby,
a star is a slave.
Stay off and nothing but money and run.
You in this with them, Cece?
Cool it, Effie.
I don't know who's in the wrong here. I don't have all the context.
You behind you, huh?
I'll be on Jennifer's
This time
side.
you've gone too far.
I'm not feeling well.
I think she's been gaslit.
Happy we all got pain. For 7 years I sang with you. I was your sister. You want your love. And now you're telling me it's all over. Now we're telling you it's all over. And now I'm telling you I ain't going.
It's all over.
I ain't going.
It's all over.
And I am
style, more of a ballad all of a sudden.
You're the best man
wild.
I'll ever know. There's no way I can ever go. No way. I'm living without you. I'm not living without you. I don't wanna be free. I'm staying, and you,
She makes you feel it.
you're gonna love me. You're gonna
Dude, I am getting chills listening to her. She is so convincing. She sings with so much passion. She sings with more passion than like 5 singers combined. Like how, like in this moment, like if you're the receiver of this whole sung monologue here, like what can you say in response? It feels like such an overwhelming show of emotion. Like this might work on me. I don't know what the exact context is for why she's having to like cling on so forcefully in this moment, but man, like she just does not let go. And that's like, in a sense, like the kind of love you'd want is like, no, this is like what I'm here for. This is what I will endlessly fight for. And I will shout it out for as long as I can, even against what you think may be correct for us.
And I am telling you, I'm not going, even though the rough times are showing. There's just no way, there's no way. We're part of the same place. We're part of the same time. We both share the same blood. We both have the same mind. And time to time, we've had so much to share. No, I'm not waking up tomorrow morning and finding that there's nobody there. Darling, there's no way. Living without you.
My whole body is riddled with goosebumps. This is crazy.
Living without you. I'm not living without you. You see, there's just no way. There's no way. He's gonna away from me. Stay with me. Stay with me. Stay, go home.
Oh my god, she's getting like animalistic.
Please stay at home, Mr. Man. Try, Mr.
I don't know where to begin. We still have one more song, so I will try to keep it relatively brief here. She is just otherworldly. The amount of power, the endurance to be in that high of a range and then find notes that pushes how high she's capable of singing, and then to add the screams and the growls and all of the vocals falling apart, and then the shouts and the exasperations and these different effects and the physicality of her performance. She's grabbing onto the man, holding onto him. If I were in his shoes, even as an actor, I would be so convinced by her performance. I would almost be scared in that moment. You see how wide-eyed she got. She is so clear in what she wants. I want this love to work at all costs. There's no stone which will be left unturned. I will make it happen, even if you don't want it to happen. And part of my brain earlier in the performance was thinking like, okay, all of these people are telling her something different. And are all of them lying? Are all of them manipulating her? Could be. I don't know the plot, but when many people are saying one thing at the same time, maybe there's something to it. And there's the chance that in this musical Dreamgirls, she has entered some kind of delusional land where she views this relationship and it staying together as the thing that she needs. And again, it's at all costs, including the man himself who he ran away at the first opportunity. He seemed actually scared of her. And even her performance, when she's on her own, she's still shouting out that this love is going to happen whether you like it or not. So my intuition tells me that she was either led to that point of complete mental break and delusion where she feels like, okay, the only outcome now because of how terribly I was treated is to double down and be in this relationship and make it work. And when she shows that much enthusiasm and stick-to-itiveness, he backs off and it works as a sort of counter. The other approach, and this may be just Occam's razor, but it may just be that she is completely delusional. They weren't really an item before, and he didn't treat her all that bad. Maybe he did one or two problematic things, but she has blown it way out of proportion and is now constantly checking on this man, and he's worried, oh man, is she going to turn the corner at any moment? In the position that I am in with the limited knowledge I have, I could imagine it going either direction. And maybe you guys are familiar with a third outside option that I'm not currently considering, but outside of the story, her performance is irreplicable. Is that a word? Irreplicable? No one can do this other than Jennifer, I think. Holy crap. Let's jump into the last song here. This is So in Love, which I believe is part of her solo recording artist career. So let's see what she decides to do with it. Beautiful piano and swelling strings. I'm ready for this.
Some people think it's just a foolish game, but love is a serious thing.
Oh.
More than money, fortune, or fame.
Right. Love is above all.
I need your love, baby, and the joy you bring. Maybe it's all in my mind.
I feel like I'm being serenaded right now. It's enchanting.
But I haven't felt this way in such a long, long time. And all that I know is that I'm so in love, so in love, so in love with you, baby. With you, I'm so in love with you.
edge of my seat right now because I know what she's capable of. I don't know when she's gonna lift off.
I must confess that used to be me.
I love the anticipation that's being built here. This is the slowest tempo of all three of the songs thus far, and she just is milking every moment, the chimes cleansing each section with each hit. It's a beautiful velvety feel to this.
I must confess that used to be me. Almost gave up on love, never hoped to win. No, baby. Then you came along and made my heart smile again. That's why I know that I know that I know that I'm so in love. So in love. So in love. Oh, I'm so in love with you. Hey, baby.
Listen to the way she delivers. So in love.
Oh, I'm so in love with you.
Perfect control.
So in love with you. True love. Some people say true love is so hard to find. But I'm so happy, baby. I'm so happy that you're mine. 'Cause I found heaven right here on earth. Yes, I did. And if I had to walk 1,000 miles, I'd do it just to prove all your work to me. So in love with you. So in love with you, baby. So in love. So in love. So
I feel I'm like sweating. It's so amazing. There's so many things to point out here. The one thing that I'm gonna say is watch the way her mouth moves, the way she's manipulating all of these consonants and vowels. It's such an important part of vocal performance is your placement of any and all of what you're singing, and she is so carefully able to maneuver across all of those extremely unique vocal positions. And each of these little decisions that she's including adds to the emotionality of the performance. It feels so real, and it is. That's what music and performance is all about. It is to kind of capture these nuanced emotions that sometimes our words are incapable of properly expressing through song, through just sound, and even just physically. You can see the way she's moving. All of this is contributing to this awesome, awesome song.
so in love with you, baby. So in love. So in love.
Watch her mouth. Just all of those positions carefully crafted one after the next. This is seeping into my gray matter.
You bring me joy when I'm down. Heaven right here on earth.
just blew my mind 3 times in a row. You know, I I really don't know where to start. It's almost like the song So in Love was like some kind of extension of what we had in the second track, where there was that Dreamgirls performance with the acting and the way she just let herself go there. It felt like a complete collapse, as if the moment she stopped singing, she would just lay flat on the ground because she gave all that she had to give. And this go around, it seems like she's a bit older here. She's a bit more reserved, which is a crazy statement for Jennifer considering how crazy this performance of So in Love was. But relatively, she's more reined in here and allowing each of the runs to be very, very kind of flowy. It's this was less like her vocals falling apart and more of her vocals kind of flowing into a specific emotional direction, because the tempo, the beat was rather like slow overall, and she just lets her voice in those sustained notes kind of ride rather than like cutting certain lines off quicker. She opts to extend them and allow her voice the power that she has in it to continue and carry. I love the melody a lot in So in Love. I feel like what we had in the second performance, because it is a musical. It's not just like a chorus, verse, pre-chorus like kind of structure. The memorization aspect of that song is a bit harder for me. I would have to watch that play, I think, a handful of times to pick up on all of the dialogue, but her acting there was very clear. So again, if you pair this and that song and So in Love together, it's as though she recognizes she's so in love, but she's taken a bit of a step back in terms of forcing that love onto another. So she is still so in love. It's a different way to express it. And I don't know which one I like better. That's the thing. She nailed it the second time around, even the first time around in that first track where she was solo, then the choir jumping in. She just has so much stage presence, so much bravado in her voice. Like if she were like a general in an army and you're like about to do the Crusades or something, you're about to fight for what you believe is yours, she's probably one of the best people to like galvanize support. Is that the word? Galvanize? That sounds right, but it sounds wrong at the same time. To elicit support from all of her compatriots. She is so good, so commanding, so powerful, so versatile, so expressive, emotive, and it doesn't just show up in the vocals. Again, it shows up in her presence on that stage. It even shows up in her mouth movements. Yeah, this was such a fun reaction. I would love to do more Jennifer Holliday on the channel. So if you are interested in sending more of her stuff my way, you can make a reaction request using the first link in the description box below. But thank you all for watching. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. Take care and peace.